Hello and welcome back to the Late Winner Show podcast. This is a very special podcast for us. We've been waiting for a couple of Spurs fans for us to join and give us their thoughts on the Spurs because we've never had Spurs fan on our show. So it's a really special moment for all of us. So let me just welcome Mike Leigh, the host of the Spurs Show, the longest and running and the most listened to podcast of the Spurs fan club. So thank you, Mike, for joining us.
A pleasure. You finally get the biggest team in London, at least, finally, on your show. It's a beautiful thing. Finally, we've arrived. Hi, Rishab. Hi, Harsh as well. Nice to see you.
Hi, Mike.
And also welcome to Harsh, who's a supporter from India and also managing the fan club for India Spurs. So welcome over here, Harsh.
Thank you. Hi everyone. Nice to be here.
And obviously, Rishabh is another co-host for the Late Winner Show. He is a United fan for everyone to know, and myself, I'm a Chelsea fan. So I definitely want to thank you guys for bringing Gareth Bale in and getting us the Champions League spot before we won the Champions League. So that was really thanks to you, all of you guys. And obviously, I know that we have voted Gareth Bale as our Premier League Player of the Season for us, so as the Chelsea Player of the Season. So thank you guys for bringing Gareth Bale. And so let's dive right into the Spurs team up right now. And obviously, the big thing which we want to discuss about is the Nuno Santo's managerial arrival. So let's start with you, Mike. What are your expectations from Nuno this season?
Well, I mean, it's hard to tell. I mean, it's been, as all Spurs fans out there know, it's been an utter mess trying to get a manager in. Mourinho rightly went. One could argue he should have gone sooner. And then when he did go, you could have argued he should have stayed at least for the Carabao Cup final. It was a very weird timing. And I think the board really thought they were going to get Julian Nagelsmann. They really thought he was the man who was going to come in. Then the Bayern Munich job came up. And then after that, it was a disaster. Brendan Rodgers didn't want it. Then they went for this weird Fonseca they tried to get. Then they pulled out the Fonseca deal. Conte then became available, the ex-Chelsea manager. And that didn't happen. Gattuso nearly happened in Italy, and there was a backlash from the fans for comments he'd made previously. Pochettino was interested in the job apparently, and PSG didn't want him to go. And then we ended up with Santo, who left Wolves right at the end of the season. We could have had him 6-7 weeks ago. That's how bad it's been. He's there now. He's taken obviously the training now and pre-season. It's very, very difficult. It was quite an underwhelming appointment, but the fact that we were so desperate to get anyone in by the end, I think most Spurs fans are happy. He did a great job at Wolves early on. We saw him beat us many times with wonderful counter-attacking play. Last season, they had big injuries to key players. They didn't do so well. But I think everyone likes him. Who doesn't like him? He comes across very, very well with the media. He looks like a nice guy. And hopefully he will get our attacking players on paper. We've got a lot of very exciting players. He'll get them playing the Tottenham way, and hopefully we'll have a thrilling season, which we certainly didn't under Jose Mourinho.
And I think the ironical thing over here right now is that Nuno's contract is for 2 years, and Pochettino also has like 2 years left at PSG. So do you think like Pochettino might come back after that because he was a very big rumor target right now, or you see that 2 years anything could happen in 2 years?
Are you talking to me?
Yeah.
I think it's a very, very good chance. My understanding is that Pochettino wanted to come. His wife is still living in London. She wants to stay here, but it's a bit like the analogy. Do you go back to an old girlfriend? You know, you finish with a girlfriend, you think that's it, and then you start remembering the good things, the good aspects of the girlfriend, and then when you get back together, you realise, oh, now I know why we finished. There was those problems. Unfortunately, while the current board is still there, the way they go handle transfer dealings. Pochettino famously said when we built the new stadium, there's no point having a lovely house and putting in cheap furniture. And at the moment, one can argue we still got cheap furniture. So I hope Santo does well. I really do. All Spurs fans always get behind our managers. But if Pochettino does come back one day, I don't think it would surprise many of us.
Yeah.
And Harsh, what are your thoughts? Do you think how the Indian fans reacting to this news of Nuno's appointment over here?
Yeah, I think it's fairly similar to what Mike said. I mean, earlier in the window, we were linked with Conte for a brief period. I mean, not for a brief period. It was for like, I think, couple of weeks, more than a couple of weeks. I think that was the peak point, I'd say, for all the Indian fans. I think all the Spurs fans in general, that was the peak point. And I think post Conte rumors and then suddenly going down a level to being linked with Fonseca, I mean, and then Gattuso, and then ending up with Nuno. I think initially it felt like a bit disappointing, but I think we'll have to be realistic. I don't think Conte. I mean, you can say that Conte is a instant success. I mean, he wants to bring instant success to any club, right? He wants lots of money to be put in, and he wants to challenge for trophies season in, season out. But I don't think we are in a situation right now as a club to be able to spend so much money. I mean, as you can see, we are almost dragging out our centre back target, who is Romero, for almost, I think, over a month now, just for 5-10 millions. So I don't think we were a club suitable for Conte anyway. Since we have ended up with Nuno, I think slowly the fans are realizing that, okay, he is a good appointment, he is a good fit. And based on the reports that are coming out from the media, I think he is very much of the Pochettino mold, likes to train hard, likes to give young players the chance. And he's not a manager who will be straight up. I mean, he'll be straight up with the media. He won't make it about himself like what it was under Mourinho. So I think that's what we need right now. We need a coach who does his job on the training ground and builds the team to perform on the pitch, rather than him taking the limelight and putting the players behind it. So I think I'm, as Mike already said, I think I'm really firmly believe that and hope that Nuno will be a success for us, even though in a short term. But I think hopefully he will be a successful for us.
Okay.
So I mean, I actually just wanted to put some points in as well. Like, you know, I really feel like he's more of a head coach than a manager of the club. But probably an accurate description would be more like he would be the players manager. Like, he's a good he's a good man manager in that case, right? And I feel like the way he has played against Wolves, he has managed Wolves. I feel like he will bring a lot of attacking football. The way that, you know, Spurs are actually, we've seen Spurs play in the past few years. Obviously, Jose Mourinho probably has a different tactic that he brings to his playing style. I think he'll bring a lot more of that back to Spurs and probably get back Spurs where they should be.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, yeah, talking about tactics, I know that Nuno likes to play with the back three right now. So, what kind of changes do you think will be happening in the squad right now? And like, I know that Serge Aurier is on his way out, and even Matt Doherty is actually rumored to be out. I mean, I believe that Nuno is not believe that he can really handle the ball really well at the right back, and I think he is looking for an upgrade at that aspects, but not an instant replacement as of now. So, what kind of changes do you think will be happening, Mike? If you want to go
ahead. Look, he hasn't been there very, very long. He's got these pre-season games to look at things. The Romero deal from Atalanta looks like it's going to happen. The last rumours coming out is Atalanta are waiting to get a replacement in before they release Romero. He's coming in. He's only young. He's 23, and to go straight into the Premier League, no matter where you are, is very, very difficult. Tanganga, they was offered to go to loan to Galatasaray. He's going to stay. Alderweireld's gone, our most experienced centre-back. One could argue we need two centre-backs to come in. This is usual. Ben Davies has played there for Wales. Could also go in there as well. But the defence is going to be the issue, without a doubt. Reguilon looks great going forward, doesn't look great defending. Doherty was very average under Mourinho, but obviously Nuno knows him. He had him at Wolves, and as you mentioned, pushing forward might be better. But the defence is always going to be the issue. Mourinho knew that was the issue. That's why he went very, very low block and kind of, trying to make it as tight as possible. That will happen again. I know it's only been a few games in pre-season, but the front three, front four look very, very exciting again. And I just think, again, I think if we can win many games 3-2, I can see that happen. I don't think there've been many 1-0s again for Tottenham. There'll be a lot of high-scoring games, I would have thought. Maybe if Romero comes in, maybe he's the new young, dynamic centre-back we need. Davinson Sanchez had a poor season last season. Rumours that he might move on. Eric Dyer is a player that I'd probably move on as well. There's still a lot of work to be done in that back four.
Yeah, and also now you have two signings which have been confirmed, which is Bryan Gill and Gollini. Do you think Gollini signing is an indication that Laurie might be leaving right now or anytime soon?
Harsh?
Yeah, I don't think so. I mean, Hugo has just got 1 year left on his deal, so I think it's more of a security. I mean, just being secure in terms of getting a backup for Hugo. So I mean, we still haven't bought him outright. It's still a loan, and it'll be. I think we have an obligation to buy if we start him for more than 20 games. I think that's what I read recently.
So he'll play 19 games.
Yeah, that's how we work. That's how we work. I think so. He's not a standout keeper. Last season, I think he only broke into Atlanta's team 2 seasons before. I think 1 season before the last season. So that was his breakthrough season. The last season was him slowly being phased out, and even Atlanta have signed a backup a first choice goalkeeper, Musso from Udinese. So I think he wasn't a first choice keeper for Atlanta for the time he was there. It was just 1 season for which he was the first choice. So I think we just sort of lured him just to be. For him to be a first choice in the future, but I don't think he'll realistically be the first choice. I do hope that as we got Hugo right back in 2012, I hope we get lucky again and get a world-class goalkeeper who is young and who will stay for as long as Hugo did. So I don't think Gollini will be for this season. He'll be starting the cup games and all the Conference League games. I don't think he'll be the first choice even after if Hugo leaves and even after Hugo leaves. Talking about Bryan Gill, I think he'll also start as a spot player. He's just 20, so I think he's even younger than a couple of. If you know Japhet Tanganga, he's even younger than him.
Yeah.
So even younger than Ryan Sessegnon. So he's still he'll start off as a spot player who will get some minutes in the Conference League and as well as the cup games. But I do have high hopes for him to be a starter, if not this season, maybe the next or the season coming after that.
Yeah. I'm pretty excited. I'm pretty excited about Bryan Gill as well because I think even Serge Reguilon and Bryan Gill played together at Sevilla in the 2019-20 season. So I think. Go ahead,
they played for a little while. I don't think they played that many games, but they're actually the way that they play, it's not highly compatible. If you see, even Bryan Gill wants to go on the wings and stay wide, and that's where Sergio Reguilon wants to play. But I hope, I hope that we in the future we do move Bryan Gill to the right side, and that's what I think we have planned for him. But let's see.
Yeah, and obviously now we cannot go forward and not talk about the big transfer saga, which is actually might unfold, which is about Harry Kane. Obviously reports are starting to fly out that he is he's not going to he's going to miss the first couple of games. So do you think he is aching for a move out of the club, and I think it's just like Pochettino that now he might be looking for a breakup, hopefully not a bad breakup with Spurs, but might be destined towards one.
I believe he wants to go, and I think most Spurs fans don't blame him for wanting to go. He's been an extraordinary player for Tottenham and England. Second now and our second top goal scorer in the history of Tottenham Hotspur, about 40 goals shy of Jimmy Greaves. And I know most Spurs fans would love to see him break that record. He believes he has a gentleman's agreement with Daniel Levy that he can go. But the bottom line is he's under contract. He signs a 5-year contract. He has 3 years left to go. Tottenham, the board are completely in their right to expect decent money. I believe if Manchester City offer £120 million in cash, as it were, no player deals, then they might go, but they haven't yet. It looks like today that Jack Grealish from Aston Villa could be their first big signing. The whole financial fair play thing is crazy. How can they go and lay out over £200 million just like that on players? It's utterly ridiculous. I really hope we get one more season out of him. I really, really hope all Spurs fans. I mean, if it wasn't for his goals last season, we would have finished about 4th or 5th bottom. That's how important his goals are for us. He is absolutely incredible. He's irreplaceable. Even taking 120, 130, 140 million, you're not going to be able to replace him with another player. He is irreplaceable. So most Spurs fans really, really hope that he gives us one more season. We couldn't really see him last season because we weren't allowed in the stadium. Even if it's sort of it comes across a bit like Aaron Ramsey at Arsenal when everyone knew it's his last season. I think most Spurs fans would accept knowing this season could be his last and he'll get the send-off then he truly deserves. I don't think he's the kind of man, a player like a Berbatov who'll down tools, go on strike, throw his toys out the pram. Yeah. I don't think he's that kind of player. And I really hope that Man City do not prize him away from Tottenham just yet.
The other thing that I think about is what's the situation that happened to Messi last year. I don't think Kane wants to leave Tottenham on bad terms because he's been with the club since since a long time, and he was part of the academy as well. So I really don't feel like he will do those kind of things where he'll go on strike and he will just not report on training and just to force out of move. But I also think that because of his age and because of the player that he is, I think he deserves the trophies. And I'm not trying to barrage Tottenham in that case that Tottenham cannot get trophies to him, but it is the true fact that a player of that caliber would want to get, when he retires, he would want to see some kind of trophies that he achieved in his trophy cabinet, rather than just looking at okay, I have these many stats but I don't have anything to show for it.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I agree with that. I mean, he's playing the Champions League final. He's played in 2 League Cup finals. We haven't won any of them. He's had a lot of injury problems as well. Every season he misses at least 10 games, 6 to 10 games a season the last few years with injuries. He's 28. And as I said, I just hope we get one more year out of him. I think next year, one more season, and we'll still probably get around £100 million for him. And I think, we'll see. I mean, it's sadly if Manchester City come in with really, really big money, Tottenham obviously financially with the cost of the £1 billion stadium could obviously need it. But as I said, I really hope we see him at White Hart Lane next season.
I mean, and even the transfer fee, if you get the £160 million, I think it was the same. It was about £100 million for Bale as well, but then Tottenham did not invest it in the correct way. So I guess that's also one more thing, right? When you get that kind of money, and I'm not barraging Tottenham in that way, because even a lot of teams have gotten that kind of money from teams, but they've not really invested really well in that case, right? Because you just have that money and you don't know what kind of players.
Well, the Bell money was very bad. When we took it and we splashed out on 5 players at the same time.
Yeah,
One
exactly.
Only Christian Eriksen out of all of them sort of was worth the money. Got Paulinho, Chiriches, Lamella's obviously just gone. Chadley. I mean, I don't. And again, but as I said before, even with 100, 120, 130 million, even if you said, right, let's spend this on a striker, again, Tottenham have a wage structure whereby I think the top earner earns around £200,000 a week. We're not going to just get someone in who wants 350,000 pound a week. Tottenham don't run the business like that, so he is irreplaceable.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah. And Harsh, do you think? I mean, obviously, my next question was about like Harry Kane's replacement, but I guess the verdict has already come in that he is irreplaceable. But do you think? I mean, who could be the possible transfer targets for Tottenham if Kane decides to leave? Maybe not this window, maybe, but okay, let's say even if in the next transfer window.
Yeah, I think as Mike said, that his skill set is you can't replace him just with one player. So what he does offer is at least he does the job of at least 2-3 players in your 11. He's scoring goals, he's assisting them, and he's also tracking back and defending. So you can't just replace him just by one player. But I think so. Here is where I disagree with Mike's sort of. I think if Manchester City offer somewhere around 150 or more than 150 million, I think we are better off selling Harry Kane, because his mind is already is there, like that he wants to leave. His interview with Sky and the news that is coming off from his brothers. I mean, there was a leak from his on the day of his brother's wedding that they were almost hoping they almost had secured a move to City, and they were happy with that. So I think his mind is very set on moving away from Tottenham. So if we do get above 150 million, which is highly unlikely, I mean, since the City are already buying Jack Grealish for 100 million, I don't think. I mean, logically they shouldn't be going ahead and spending 150 more, but you never know. So if we do get 150, more than 150 or 150 for Kane, I think we should sell him, and this is the right time to go ahead and get players, at least 2 or 3 solid first 11 players who are young enough and who have got the capabilities of replacing him. Talking about replacements, I think one of them is already being linked with Arsenal. If you know, there are links with links of Lautaro Martinez. Yeah, Martinez being linked with Arsenal. So I do think that he has got that ability of being not a direct link man, but he can stay. He is sort of crucial while the build-up phase is happening, as well as has the ability of being of running in behind and finishing off chances. So he is a player that we may look for, but I think other than him, I don't think there are many that you could just bring in and hope that they'll replace Kane out and out. So if we're talking about young prospects, I think Isak, as we all saw during the Euros for Sweden, he was really good for them, and he did show that he has the capabilities of holding the ball up and even carrying it for large parts single-handedly. He almost single-handedly was handling the attack for Sweden in the Euros. So he is one of the names. And Celtic have a French striker, Edouard. So I do rate him as well, but these are more of long-term replacements. And if we do sell Kane right now, all our bid will be for Kane, for Son, to be our main striker and get in all the goals. So whoever we do bring in as Kane replacements will be mostly be paired along with Son, or will be there for, I mean, not an instant replacement, but will be there for like 1 or 2 years down the
Sure.
line.
Yeah. I mean, I think like this. I don't know if you guys agree, but you know, like if like the question that needs to be asked is Spurs going through a rebuild once if they sell him, or they really want an instant striker that can just, again, he's irreplaceable, but you need to still fill up the squad, right? So
I mean,
you really feel like
there's a rebuild going on, which should have happened 3 years ago. This is the problem. You know, we've hung on to players for whatever reason too long. The board took their eye off footballing matters. Were worried about things off the field. There's a rebuild going on. We want him to be part of that rebuild because he guarantees you 20, 25, 30 goals a season. The only player I can think of who might give you that if he stays fit is maybe Danny Ings from Southampton, who is a very, very good striker, always scores against us. A very different kind of player than Kane. But as Harsh said, he is irreplaceable. You can't just get someone else in. We hope he gives us another season. And if he doesn't, then it really is a rebuild. My God. I mean, Son Son, thankfully, has extended his contract. He's staying. We've got some very, very exciting front players there. Bergwijn, Moura, Dele Alli. There's players there that could need to start getting some more goals, certainly this season. But if they do decide to sell Kane, then you are basically saying we're not going to finish top 6. We're not going to win anything. It's a rebuild. And don't forget, Tottenham Hotspur fans pay the most in the entire country for their season tickets. We pay more than anyone else in the country, probably in Europe. And for the money we pay out, we expect to see top players. That's why I hope. Look, obviously, Gareth Bale wanted to go. He was the last massive player that went. I understand if someone wants to go, it's very difficult to keep them. Look, we'll just have to see. We're all speculating. But as I said, I hope that he stays for another year.
How would you feel about a swap deal between Lewandowski and Kane? We did a video 1 month ago about what if they were playing for Kane was playing for Bayern and Lewandowski was playing for.
He won't come to a team like Tottenham. Look, we're not in the Champions League. We're in the European Conference, but we don't pay the wages. Our ceiling is around 220,000 £220,000 a week. All these players are earning 300,000 plus. Not going to happen, sadly.
And so parting thoughts on the podcast. Champions League spot, yes or no? Do you guys think you'll be qualifying for that this season, or it's going to be a very difficult ask, or no?
I don't think so. I mean, we do hope that we do get top 4, but I really don't think we'll be getting it. It's still a rebuild, very much a rebuild. I mean, I think it will highly depend on how our newly bought defense work out. So we'll be bringing in Romero, and I think whoever we pair him with, if it's Rodon or another new centre back, I think it still will be a very fresh and a young centre back pairing. So I think everything depends on how our defense performs. I really don't think we'll be getting top 4, but that's the hope.
Yeah, I agree with Harsh. It's very difficult to see beyond Manchester City, Chelsea, Liverpool, and Manchester United. We'd really have the new players that had to hit the ground running. I think we'll probably finish 6th, but fine. It would be lovely to win a trophy. We haven't won anything since 2008. It's been a long time for a club as huge as Tottenham Hotspur not to win a trophy. And I think most fans, if you said, will you be happy just with the domestic cup and not get the Champions League? Most Spurs fans would say absolutely, yeah, we'll take that now.
I would say they have an outside chance for top 4, because I really feel like Nuno's going to bring something into the Tottenham team, and also the feeling that, again, it depends on whether Kane stays or not. It all depends on when come 31st August, if he is in Tottenham shirt, I really feel that they might have a top 4, because I really don't want to talk about Liverpool and Chelsea at this moment, because we're going to do a separate podcast. But it's a different feeling for me about Liverpool and Chelsea at this moment, as though if they're really going to be qualifying for top 4 or not. I really don't know if Van Dijk and Konate and all these people who are coming into Liverpool, are they going to be the same people what we saw a couple of years ago? I really don't know that. And Chelsea, I have mixed feelings on that, because of the way they finished the season. So I really do feel that Spurs have an outside chance, and I don't know, people don't know, but I have a soft corner for Spurs for more than a decade. So probably in London, maybe people hate me, but yeah, I do have a soft corner for Spurs, even being a United fan.
All right, so I would like to thank all of you guys for joining in today. That's all we have for today. Definitely, we'll have link to the channels for Twitter handles for Mike and Harsh. Definitely give them a shout out. Listen to the Spurs Show. They have recently covered the top 10 Tottenham moments series. So it's definitely a fantastic series. Definitely go ahead and give it a go on whatever podcast channel you prefer. Thank you, Harsh, for joining us from India, and obviously best of luck for the Spurs upcoming campaign.
Thank you very much. Lovely to see you guys. Take care.
Thank you so much. Thank you.